He got me a credit card in my name, physically has my name on it. Said that I could get my car fixed and use it for whatever I needed to use it for.
And then how are you going to pay him back?
He never asked me to pay him back.
Why would he pay for your $6,000 car repair? Because you're so cute?
No, because he knew.
I think I'm really cute. Nobody ever tried raining $6,000 on me for a car repair.
This is the plaintiff, Robert Taylor. He says he met the defendant on a dating website and he thought they were boyfriend and girlfriend until she told him she just wanted to be friends. The defendant led him to believe they were in a relationship while they were together, and she got him to give her money, got him to give her a credit card, and royally ripped him off to the tune of $4,999. The amount he's here in this court suing her for today. This is the defendant, Pamela Porter. She says everything was fine between her and the plaintiff until he got a new girlfriend who wouldn't let him talk to her. Then, out of the blue, she gets papers from the court saying he's suing her for almost $5,000. Huh? The plaintiff never even mentioned a word about paying him back until she came along. Everything was a gift, and this lawsuit is downright outrageous. She's accused of taking advantage.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Robert Taylor?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Pamela Porter, your former friend, for $4,999 because according to you, she got a credit card in your name and racked up tons and tons of bills. What happened?
How
did you two meet?
Online.
Okay, on what site?
Plaintiff.
Play a Fish?
Yeah, POF.
POF, Plenty of Fish?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Plenty of Fish. Okay, so go ahead.
So I met her, and I started hanging around with her.
Okay.
After a month of it, I thought, she told me later we went boyfriend and girlfriend.
She
So we
told
turned-
she told you later that you weren't,
No,
and you thought you were?
at first, yeah.
Okay, what made you think that you were?
I don't know.
Okay. Were you intimate?
No, we never kissed or never.
Okay. Have you ever had a girlfriend?
Since then, and prior to that, I was married.
Okay. All right, so you kind of know what it feels like to have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You're
but-
probably going to kiss her. So what was happening? What were you guys doing all day long when you were hanging out together?
She has kids,
Right?
so I would just show up and help her do other things.
Okay. So what happens? How did we get into this credit card situation?
She was in an accident, and the insurance gave her the money. Then she hands the insurance money to somebody else. Then they took advantage of her and didn't fix her car
Okay.
and claimed that she never gave them the money.
Okay. Maybe she didn't. Because look at you. You're here suing her because according to you, she racked up $5,800 in bills on your credit card.
Right. But
Right.
see, she was in the truck with me when I ordered the credit card for her.
Why did you order a credit card for her?
I don't know.
Well, but you have to have a reason because you're here suing for it. So what was the
Right.
reason that you ordered a credit card in her name?
She asked to borrow some money,
How much money did she ask to borrow?
enough to fix her car.
How much was that?
Turned out to be $5,800.
What happened here?
Okay, so we met online. We went to New Smyrna to the beach. We'd go eat dinner, stuff like that. He came over like every day. Came to my job every day. Sometimes would be sitting outside waiting for me to get off work. Came over too much.
Okay, but was that welcome or not welcome?
Well, I never said no because, he didn't have anybody to hang out with, so I was hanging out with him. He took other people to dinner from that site. I think he's dated 100 and something people in a year. Okay. So then whenever he got done with his date, we'd talk about his date, see whether he liked his date or not, or if he was going back, or if they liked him, stuff like that.
So you put him in the friend zone mighty early.
Yeah, there was
All right,
never.
so how did it come?
And I had a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend. He knew
Okay.
we weren't, at first we weren't.
What happened with your accident?
I got in an accident. The insurance company gave me the money. The guy that was supposed to fix my car works at a body shop. It's my daughter's boyfriend. So I paid him. He did not do it. He didn't do it, period. So
Well, did you sue him?
No, because
How much money did you give your daughter's boyfriend?
about $6,000, something
And what did
like
he
that.
do with your $6,000?
They didn't fix my car. So
You mean they didn't fix it right, or they didn't fix it
they
at all?
didn't fix it at all.
Is your daughter still dating him?
They live together. Yes.
Are you doing anything about getting your $6,000 back?
No,
What'd they do with the $6,000?
I really don't know. I mean, they did buy some pieces for my car. They just never physically.
So then what happened?
Okay, so then I was gonna go to my ex-boyfriend's house where I used to live and see if he would give me the money for my car so I could get it fixed because it was undrivable. Okay. So Mr. Taylor said, don't go to your ex-boyfriend's house, I'll do it for you. So he got me a credit card in my name, physically has my name on it, said that I could get my car fixed and use it for whatever I needed to use it for.
And then how are you going to pay him back?
He never asked me to pay him back.
Why would he pay for your $6,000 car repair? Because you're so cute?
No, because he knew.
I think I'm really cute. Nobody ever tried raining $6,000 on me for a car repair.
Because he's just a nice guy. So
Well, nice guy, but why does that mean he has to rain $6,000 on you?
If he never said I had to pay it back, not one time.
Well, what if,
Okay.
and apparently you
There's
got not one but two guys in your life that would have done that? Because you also could have done this with your ex?
One was an ex. Well,
And the
so I
ex
could
wouldn't have
drive-
made you pay him back either?
No, I didn't. I had to drive my car, but
Yeah, and drive your car to work so you can get paid so you can pay off the credit card bill.
I also had 8 kids that I was taking care of.
Why were you taking care of 8? I don't even. Why? Why did I ask?
Okay,
Why were you taking care of 8 kids?
because they got placed at my house because their mom sucks. So he
Wait,
also.
are you Are you a foster parent?
They were my daughter's children.
Oh.
So they got placed
so
at
the
my
girl
house.
you raised sucks.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So he also knew that and knew I didn't have any money.
Does your daughter have 8 children?
No, she's got 5 and my other one has 3.
And you had all of them?
Yeah. He also brought food, toilet paper, wet wipes, diapers.
How much did the repairs to your car cost?
$1,800.
So where did all this other money on this credit card come from?
Okay,
because there's
so-
$5,800 in charges.
There wasn't. That's not all for me. He also bought a fence, a in-ground fence on that card because he had a card as well, and he never said anything about nothing. And then
I asked you to pay it
Hold
back.
on.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Do dating websites work? What do you think?
No,
Why?
because I think if you're going to meet somebody, you should meet them in person and not on a preconceived website of what you think they are.
But but in bars they give you preconceptions of who they are. What do you say?
I say dating websites work because you could get an opportunity to meet more people and go through the numbers process and meet people that way.
Just go through. What do you say? Real quick.
Sure it does. It narrows it down by selection.
It's true. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
Do you have the actual statements with you? May I see them?
Sure.
All space storage.
That's her.
Is that your storage unit?
I have a storage unit. Yes.
Is it an all space?
Yes. But
Did you make a $400 payment in November on
I
it?
did not. He might have did it without me knowing. No.
Why would he pay your?
He did all kinds of stuff that I didn't know.
How would he know which one was your space?
Because he took me there. Used his truck and his trailer.
November 3rd, Burger King, $19. November 4th, 7-Eleven, $10.
Never had one.
Dollar Tree. Who went to the Dollar Tree?
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me. What about $600 at Walmart? You know how hard it is to spend $600 at Walmart?
Wasn't me.
A lot of stuff.
Who did that?
Wasn't me.
I didn't use it at Walmart. The only thing I used
ABC
it
Fine
for.
Wine and Spirits.
That's not me neither. I don't go to
Quality
ABC.
Care Learning.
That's me. He paid daycare for me for them children.
Who rented a car?
I did not rent a car.
That was me.
I'm sorry. I did not rent a car.
So you're charging stuff too. You know, you open up a card in her name, and your version of this is never once did he say I would have to pay him back. And why is he helping you so much? Aaron's online payment. What's that about? Who's renting furniture?
Not
Not
me.
me.
My furniture is paid for from Big Lots.
My,
Do you have another girl? Maybe you were
no.
paying her, making furniture payments?
no, because
Well, it's on here. Aaron's online payment, $347.
I don't have anything from Aaron's.
Did you pay for something for anybody from Aaron's?
No.
Does anyone care that there's a $347 charge from Aaron's? Were you getting your monthly statement all the time?
Yes, ma'am, except for the,
So, except for,
I gave her the first two. That's why there's copies.
did he give you the statements? The first
He gave me one of them
What did he give them to you for?
so I could see what was on there.
What's the point of that if you're not supposed to
I
pay
don't
him
even
back?
remember what was on there. He just
No,
wanted to
what's
let.
the point of giving you the statements if this was all some gift that you're not responsible for?
To let me know that the card was at Walmart and that it was his card because he kept canceling.
This is a statement.
He kept
When I,
canceling the card and he said, "Here's the statement. It's still active." Because I did not get the last piece of my
When was the
car
last time you got to use the card?
way back in
I can tell. It's when all the
February.
purchases
Probably
cease.
February.
Ooh, you were getting cash advances?
Never got a cash advance.
Did you get a
neither.
cash advance?
No.
$352.05 for renting a car.
That was me because
Okay, how am I, but you're suing for all of it. You're asking me to make her pay for it, and yet when I'm pointing these things out to you,
okay.
Did you pay him back anything?
No.
What's the point of him showing you 2 months worth of statements if it's not for you to look at it and pay back?
He didn't show me 2 months. He brought me one statement to let me know that the card was active and I could use it. I told him it
Wait,
wasn't.
why does a statement show you that rather than him saying?
Because it
Are
showed
you
that
taking
it.
advantage of him?
No, because it
You
showed
know, because
that.
he's trying to rain money on you because he likes you and wants you, but you're also
No,
sounds
'cause
like
he
you're
wanted in my-
I'm
It's not
talking.
why.
Don't talk over me. It kind of sounds like you're taking advantage of him too.
No.
And I did tell her to pay it back.
You're a mess, though. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, an 18-year-old boy does this, not a grown man. You
But
liked her.
But ma'am, I was married for 37 years.
That's lovely, but you got to learn how to date. And
I
when
know
you're
that.
dating, you don't hand a credit card over to a person you barely know in your name. And then you keep using it, she keeps using it. Why? Because there's no tomorrow with either of you, right? There's never going to be a moment where the bill's going to come in and we're going to have to actually pay it. That doesn't happen. Let's just live in the moment. Whee! Good Lord. I'm going to order you to pay half of it. I'm finding in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $2,900. That's my judgment.
Thank you.
Well, the judge finds for the plaintiff in this really strange case. This is one for the books, you know?
He's just.
Go
he's
ahead.
just a dirty old man. That's all.
Well, you know, what do you think you are? You don't think you're taking advantage
It
of
is.
him?
No, it wasn't like that. But whatever. It
He
is
said
what
he
it
never
is.
asked you to pay, but didn't you think you'd have to pay him something
Nope.
back?
If he'd have said I had to pay him back, he wouldn't have had to help me because I could have went somewhere else. Simple.
You're too much. Okay, thank you very much. Door is that way. Hope you can find it. Mr. Taylor.
Yes, I did tell her to pay it back.
You know what the judge said? She said you're a mess. What do you think?
Yeah, I am. It's kind of like puppy love.
Have you really almost dated 100 women you met online?
No, I've met 50 so far.
50, that's pretty good. What are you looking for?
I think I found her.
Really? Not
Yeah.
that one?
Oh, hell no. Excuse my language.
Well, I hope you're happy. And have you learned anything through this whole thing?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Not the long credit card of nobody.
Good for you. Congratulations. All right. On your way. Thank you very much, sir.
You know, Doug, this is such an important point that people are allowed to take advantage of other people. They're allowed to overcharge them. They're allowed to do all sorts of things, and courts don't just automatically make things fair. Fairness is not a legal right. It's your job to make sure people treat you fairly. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Tina Hodge West. She says she worked for the defendant answering phones and bookkeeping for her airport transportation business, and the louse is stiffing her on the $2,500 she still owes her. She doesn't care who this lady thinks she is because she's here fighting for what's right, and that means suing her here and now for the money she's still owed. This is the defendant, Linda Parios. She says she can't believe this woman's suing her for time she says she worked, when in reality, she was in jail. That's right. She was on vacation, and the plaintiff's claiming she worked while she was away, when in reality, she was locked up. Good luck with this lawsuit, lady. She's accused of stiffing an employee. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for all she's out.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff answers phones for the defendant's airport transportation business and got stiffed. But the defendant says she's asking for time at work when she was actually in jail. It's the case of work release.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Ms. West, you're suing Ms. Parios and Florida Sunshine Express for $2,500?
Yes.
In wages that you say you have not been paid, and pain and suffering because your wages haven't been paid. You have a counterclaim against her for $5,000 for loss of revenue, projected loss of revenue as a result of firing her. All right, let's start with you first. What happened?
Well, I worked for her answering phones, and when she hired us, we all agreed, but she'd pay us $10.99. Come to find out, since I worked
Wait, stop. So you're an independent contractor doing what?
Answering her phones, working her calendar, putting...
What's the counter of? What do they do?
The calendar up for drivers to pick up at the airports.
Okay,
and
and are you a driver as well?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I worked, she owed me 2 weeks' pay before she went out of town, and then I worked another week on the next pay schedule, and I total of 3 invoices.
So there should be 3 weeks that you're saying you're owed. Okay, go on.
And I have copies of all of that here, except for one invoice, because you're not allowed to take anything, including your own invoices, out of the office.
Okay.
I asked her accountant to mail me a copy, which I never got. And one of the invoices...
Okay, so wait a second. What is it you've brought to court?
The 2 of the invoices for when she was gone, when I answered the phones from home and then went to the office.
Who creates the invoice?
I do.
Okay, and so you are the one who, 2 of the invoices for while she was gone?
Yeah, she went out of town for graduation, and I took over the phones.
She was gone 3 weeks?
No, just the last week.
And then why didn't you get paid before she left?
Because she left before, it runs a week behind.
Yeah, but so what? Isn't someone else in charge of doing your paychecks?
Yes, her accountant, but she has to sign off on them.
Oh, okay, and then the bad thing happened before she would sign off on those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, and what was the bad thing that happened?
Well, after working and answering the phones for her for those 4 days she was gone, I was tired. I fell asleep at a light, got rear-ended, got arrested because my driver's license was suspended in Colorado, which is now reinstated, and I had the wrong insurance in my car, and they pulled me up by my married last name, but in Florida I have my maiden last name on my thing. So they said they dropped that charge, lying to a police officer, because I didn't lie to the police officer.
Your license was suspended in Colorado and you were driving?
Yeah.
Did you know your license was suspended?
Yes, and that was my bad.
Did you have a Florida driver's license? You're from Sarasota?
I do now.
Oh, but you didn't have it then.
No,
You were just
no.
driving on a suspended license.
Yes.
So you were arrested appropriately. And then how long did you arrested and taken to jail, or promised to appear?
Taken to jail until the next day. I was there less than 24 hours.
Okay, and while that happens, who's minding the phones?
She was home. She had flown back in that day. The day I got arrested, she was...
Did you let her know that you got arrested?
My roommate did, and I have a letter from her also.
Okay, and your license was suspended for what in Colorado?
I don't remember. It was...
I'm going to find out.
It was
Just
a
tell me.
speeding ticket. It was a speeding ticket.
Speeding tickets don't suspend licenses.
It was maximum points.
Oh, so it was more than one speeding ticket. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but...
Was it a DUI?
No.
Okay.
I don't drink and don't even take Tylenol half the time, so...
Okay. So let me see then your proof of your hours that you submitted.
These are the 2 that I have.
All right. Now, these purport to cover a period of time from April 23rd through May 1st, you are owed $628, you say. And how do you calculate that if you weren't able to get the bill?
I can remember the 628.
You just did it by memory?
I couldn't remember the cents. So.
Okay. So how do you find out that you're being fired?
I finally call her 2 weeks later, and she lets me know over the phone.
But you didn't work for those 2 weeks, so you had a pretty good idea.
I had a pretty good idea.
Right. And then she tells you what over the phone?
That I was fired. They had let me go. They had hired
And did she tell you why she fired you?
Well, I understood why, which was fine. I got arrested.
Yeah, but if you got arrested for, driving with a suspended license and you were such a great employee, why would she fire you over that if she needed?
I have letters stating how good of an employee, and I have a witness.
I got a feeling she wanted to get rid of you anyway. What was the reason that you fired her?
When I realized, after requesting valid identification from both myself and my human resources manager on several occasions.
You're the human resources manager?
I do the payroll.
Okay.
And there was she did not produce identification. I can't have anybody working for me that doesn't have a valid Florida driver's license.
Okay, so you were worried about who she was. You didn't have, but you don't have to have a valid Florida license. You just have to have valid ID. She could have a passport that would tell you who she was.
We never received any form of valid ID.
Okay.
Not only that, we pulled the report. We pulled the arrest record. We found out she was a repeated felon.
What were the other felons? Driving with a
arrest.
suspended license is not a felony in Florida. It's a misdemeanor.
That's just what it says. It says habitual felony offender status.
That'll do it. So you don't want her there anymore. I got it.
No.
So now we got to figure out what it is that she's owed, because you hadn't paid her in how long by the time she got arrested?
Okay.
2.5 weeks?
2.
Okay, 2.5 or 2? Because the 14th of May, which is the day that she gets arrested, is a Monday.
That starts a new pay period?
That starts a new pay period. So but according to her, she had worked the week of April 23rd, right?
Yes, I have
that.
that.
The week of April 30th, right?
The week of 23rd, she was paid on the previous payroll check.
Okay. I don't want to know that she got paid on the 23rd for prior work. I want to know where is the proof of her hours for 23 through 27. Ms. West, you're claiming to me that you're entitled to pay for the week of 4/23 to 5/3, and that the documents that they've produced start at a time after that. But now I'm seeing a pay stub that they've handed me, and this says pay period 4/14 to 4/27, and that you got paid for that pay period.
They run a week.
I haven't finished. $287.50 to cover that pay period. So that would mean that you shouldn't be in court suing for 4/23, 24, 25, 26, or 27 at all.
They run a week behind. That was for 2 weeks.
No, my dear.
No.
The pay period refers to the time worked. That may get paid to you a week later, but that's covering the pay period. Does anybody have the actual check?
No.
Do you?
No, I never got the check.
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry.
The 250, but not the 628.
$287.50.
That was for 1 week.
$287.50 covered 4/14 to 4/27.
That was for 1 week.
No, it covers.
I have the bills right here that shows.
Are these new bills you created after you got fired, or are these something that you have from back then?
No, I couldn't take anything out.
So then they're created. I'm not interested in anything you created after you got fired, because they're made up from your head if you couldn't take anything out. So what I want is proof from your pay stubs. You get your pay stubs. Okay.
I don't.
And did you guys bring proof of this being cashed? Are you able to get access to the bank account?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can show
And
you.
we can get access to all
Okay, do it
of
right
the
now.
emails
Can you
on
just
your
sit
phone.
down calmly and
That one I did get paid on.
hold
but
on, I'm not asking you a question. Did you cash this? Am I going to find out you cashed this?
That one, yes, because that was.
I just asked you if you got the $287.50.
Yes, I got the 287, but that's not the one that's in question.
For a pay period of 4/14 to 4/27. That's what your paycheck says. That means that covers the hours that take us to 4/27. Then your next pay period would be for the hours that you were. In fact, it's authored on 5/4/218. That's why it's authored a week late. So it's not, they're running a week late, so that doesn't cover. That's you trying to get paid for 4/23 through 4/27 when you'd already been paid in this pay check that you are now telling me, yeah, Judge, I did get that and I did cash it.
Did you cash it?
Yes.
Okay. There's an invoice, though, that she was supposed to pay the
You know what the
That should come
problem
back to
is? That you
628.
come to court and you're filing a lawsuit, and for it to be the amounts you're asking for, I got to trust you. And I got a couple things going on. You're driving with a suspended license. You have a different ID. You're charged with lying to the cops about who you are. Apparently, they asked for your real name, which is the one, I guess, with the suspended license, right?
Yes.
And so you deliberately, it wasn't in your best interest to tell them that, so you didn't, and then they found out because you apparently, through your fingerprints or something, that you had a suspended license over in Colorado. And then I have you telling me how many hours you worked and saying, trust me, Judge.
That's not what
trust me.
happened.
And yet I have the paycheck that you're now admitting you did get that specifically says this covers until 4/27. And you're looking at it, but no, that's not. That just says 4/27 is when they did it. But it's not when they did it. They do it on May 4th to cover the period to 4/27. All right. According to you guys, you guys have the hours that she provided for 4:30 through 5/3.
Yes.
And this says she's owed $250.
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
And then you have the hours that she provided from 5/7 to 5/12, and that says she's owed $343.75. Right? And then the $343.75, when it's time to pay that one, you've got this that she's already submitted, and then she submits the one that says, wait a minute, it's $462.50, that's the ticket, and you guys say foul play. All right, how much do you think she's owed for that week?
We have the calculations.
Is it less than the $343.75?
Yes. Yes.
And how did you deduce that it was less than that?
Because she indicated that she was in the office at times that she could not possibly
How did
have
you
been in
deduce
the
that?
office. Because none of
wasn't
us
there.
were in the office.
This is what we figured out.
But it was after the arrest that you suspected it and looked into it for the first time. You'd never rejected any of her invoices before she got arrested, did you?
I never reject any of my employees' invoices.
Okay. Then we have what you say she filled out that says she's entitled to $343.75. She then sends you another invoice covering that period saying she's entitled to much more. So you decide that you're now going to audit because there's something wrong here.
And there's other factors involved as well, Your Honor.
And the other factors are what? Tell me about them.
So if she lied about her criminal record, but she worked 2 weeks, does she get paid?
It depends on what the documents say.
Got to give me a yes or no. There's no document.
No, she does not get paid.
Even though she worked?
Even though she worked.
Really? What are you saying?
I think she should, because they should have done their job and done a background check, and if they didn't do it, then she should get paid for the time she worked.
But they asked her, and she said, I don't have one when she did.
That's fraud.
Did she get paid?
No.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
When she was incarcerated, we had 2 customers that were left at 2 different airports. I lost a $1,000 a month customer.
Because they were stranded?
They were stranded with no drivers. Tina sent a manifest, which we printed for you, with the wrong time and the wrong pickup date. I was on an airplane. I got back to 56 text and voice messages from a hysterical customer who hadn't been picked up.
Okay. And they fired you?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
It only happens once in this business.
Right.
That was the first customer.
Go
The
on.
second customer was a young woman, brand new customer that we picked up for a long-term contract, travels 3 times a month, booked a ride for his sister. She was stranded at the airport. I got a call from Tina's roommate letting me know she was in jail. 15 minutes later, this woman's
What time
calling.
was the phone call telling you she was in jail?
It was after I started on Tuesday morning. It's probably in my phone. I would say it was.
So the day she doesn't show up for work is on Tuesday?
The first day she did not show up for work was Tuesday, yes,
Okay,
Your Honor.
so she showed up for work on Monday?
No, she didn't.
Yeah, for a few hours.
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me.
Okay. How many hours did she show up for work at?
About 2 hours and 15 minutes.
2.25 is what we
Say
have.
it again, 2 what?
2.25 is what we have.
How long do you say you worked on 514?
I have a really bad memory. Hold on. About 3.5 hours, maybe, or 2 hours.
And your conclusion, maybe, or 2 hours? Okay. And she was paid how much an hour?
$12.50 for excellent work.
You don't get to pay less. You get to fire her if you don't like her. So then, according to you, she's owed $28.12 for the day of May 14th. You believe that what you owe her, as opposed to what she is seeking, is $250 for the week of 4/30, $250 for the week of 5/7.
Yes, Your Honor.
And $28 $528.12 for the Monday.
Yes, Your Honor.
For a total of $528.12.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you feel that you shouldn't have to pay her because you have filed a counterclaim against her for the sum of $5,000. Explain your counterclaim to me.
Okay, just for the one customer that we lost because his sister was standing at the airport waiting for a driver that was never
On what
dispatched.
day was that?
The 15th.
Okay, but the 15th, you got a call in the morning from her roommate saying she's not coming to work.
And then the call came in from Eliza that she was stranded at the airport.
Meaning, okay, how are you going to prove that that's on her, I guess?
Because it was her duty to cover my office while I was out of town.
No,
She billed me for all the days that she diligently worked.
Just because you bark,
while I
it
was
doesn't mean
out
I'm
of
going to
town.
rule in your favor. I need you to listen to what my question is.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. My question is, how are you going to prove that you lost that client because of her? Do you have something from the client?
I don't have anything from the client, but we've not heard from him since. And his weekly appointment schedule with us was 3 times out and 3 times
right.
back.
If you want me to order her to pay you for that loss of revenue, which is legitimate, that could be, you're going to have to prove to me that that was her fault.
Her job was to enter into the calendar. It wasn't entered.
Okay, how does that sheet show that?
Because it's in her handwriting and it wasn't in my calendar. The driver was not there.
Okay.
If it was in the calendar,
let me see
the driver
what
would have
the
been at
sheet
the
says.
airport, Your Honor.
Is that the sheet for the day that's missing this pickup? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. That is the actual appointment card.
Okay.
Written by Tina.
Okay, so did it have the wrong time or what?
She never dispatched the driver. She never put it into the calendar.
So she filled this out?
Yes.
All right, and then her job is to put it in the calendar?
Yes, and
All right.
dispatch the driver
Don't
while
yell
I
at
was
me.
out of town.
And so, so how are you going to prove to me that she didn't put it in the calendar? Show me your calendar that doesn't have it, I don't know.
The customer was left at the airport.
Okay, do you not understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
What I'm saying to you is the customer might be left
I need
for the
my
airport.
laptop to produce the calendar.
Well, that's your problem. So I got to be able to see it's her screw-up before we can even talk about how much you should be getting. So on your counterclaim against her, 0. And on your claim against her, you've got to understand, Ms. West, that your credibility is garbage here because I have 1,000 reasons to question your credibility. You have an excuse for everything. You have different forms put in, and I believe very wholeheartedly that those forms are put in before you left, just like she says they were. And when litigation ensues, all of a sudden, you're owed a bunch more money than what you're saying you're owed. So I'm going to go with by what she says, because I can't trust what you say. Okay? So I find that you are owed not $2,500, but $528.12. And I find that you need to pay the $528.12 because she doesn't have to reimburse you for stuff that either you haven't been able to prove in court, certainly not $4,000 in court preparation. So my verdict in this case on the plaintiff's lawsuit is $528.12, which is what you agree you should owe her. And on the counterclaim against you, 0. That's my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, in a lawsuit that certainly provided evidence of the need for accurate evidence and dated information, this was one of them. I'm sorry you lost your
That's okay. We're happy to have her gone.
This sounded like a very simple case.
It was very simple.
Yeah.
Do not hire felons.
No.
Very simple.
Well, that's your problem. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Sorry about this. You got to pay her.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. You got to pay her $528. Okay.
She was owed that.
Thank you. Yes,
Take
ma'am.
care.
Good enough. Okay. You know, Ms. West, I'm really intrigued by one thing. Throughout this whole case, you kept talking to her because we didn't hear boo from you, you know?
No, they didn't ask me.
Anyway, your past didn't help you.
I'm not a felon. It was dropped.
Yeah,
even
but
the state of Colorado
records are
says,
there, you know.
Well, then they need to update the records because
Well,
they could call the state of Colorado. And
sorry
find
about
out.
all these. You didn't get $2,500, you know.
No, that's all right.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Harvey?
You know, it's ironic here, Doug. Her criminal record shot her credibility. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Debbie Sanfilippo. She says the defendant's her ex-boyfriend who's stiffing her on a Jeep she sold him. The loser never put oil in it. He ended up blowing the engine and now refuses to pay her because he says she sold him a lemon. Well, we'll see about that. She's suing for $3,000. The sale price of the Jeep, an aggravation. This is the defendant, Vernon Nasser. He says he did, in fact, put oil in the Jeep, and she sold him a bad car, and she knows it. He only had the Jeep 2 weeks. He did nothing wrong to it. And since she sold him a defective car, he owes her nothing. He's accused of not blowing off an ex.
All parties, please use your rating.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says her ex is stiffing her on a Jeep that she sold him. He didn't put oil in it, blew the engine, and refuses to pay. Now he says she sold him a junker. It's the case of Jeepers Creepers.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Sanfilippo, you are suing your former boyfriend, who's also your neighbor?
Yes.
Oh, for not paying you back $2,400 on a car you sold him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So let me see if I got this straight. You sold a used car to your ex-boyfriend, who was also your neighbor.
Right.
That didn't seem like a bad idea.
It didn't, because he lived right across the street. Thought I'd get paid. Didn't think it'd be a problem.
I wouldn't sell a used car to anyone I knew that I wanted to be able to still talk to. But apparently you guys were friends. You remained friendly?
Yes.
How long did you date?
4 years.
Okay. And so you had a Jeep. What year Jeep was it?
It was a 93 Jeep.
Okay. And so you sold it to him, and he was going to make you payments. He didn't pay you up front.
No, he gave me $100 down and was supposed to give me $100 out of each paycheck, and he didn't do it.
Right. One thing you said in your complaint was, I covered my butt every which way.
Yes.
Okay.
Because on my bill of sale, I made sure it said as is, no warranties, no guarantees, anything.
Okay, and that's really good, but I have a better way to cover your derriere, and that's to, whenever you sell a used car, get your cash up front, because that side, if they can't afford to buy a car, they can't afford a repair, you see? And the first time there's a repair, you're not gonna get paid. Now, according to you, you didn't get paid anything at all after the 100?
No.
All right, let me see the bill of sale. What's going on?
Would you sell your used car to a neighbor or an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend?
I would not take that chance. I would not.
Because?
It's going to cause problems later.
So you're assuming your car is lousy?
No, I'm assuming that they may find something that's...
What do you say?
I wouldn't do it. I don't want to have the hassle.
Ma'am?
Nope, not to my ex-boyfriend.
Okay. Back in the courtroom.
I bought it from her, and everything checked out when I drove away with it. Mm-hmm. And I went right over to a friend's house and was driving it, and we was riding around, and I got back to his house, and all of a sudden the vehicle made a noise, and it started blowing black smoke out of the back of it, and it just quit running.
And
I just left it there.
Where is it now?
In his driveway.
Why haven't you taken it to be repaired?
I didn't have the money to repair it.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
Right. So how is that her problem?
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's not. Do you understand what the phrase "as is" means?
Yes.
Then what makes you think you have a right not to pay?
I just decided I wasn't paying for it. It didn't run, so I decided I wasn't paying her.
Well, you're a jerk. Was she a good girlfriend?
Yeah, and we just had our few little difference, and I decided to go different directions.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go a different direction than you think I'm going to go too, because you're wrong about not paying her, and you need to pay her the money that you owe her for this purchase. You don't have a right to not pay. This shouldn't happen to you ever again. This shouldn't happen to you the first time, all right?
I'm never going to let it happen again.
Correct. That's called covering your butt.
Right.
Okay? Verdict for the plaintiff, you're not going to get $600 for aggravation, but you are going to get the money that's owed to you, plus, of course, your court costs and prejudgment statutory interest since the moment that he's owed it in May. That's my verdict. Pay the lady. Loser.
Well, no question the plaintiff prevails is going to get all her money. Mr. Nasser, didn't look too good for you out there.
No, it didn't look very good at all. I got to admit, I should have paid her, but it was a decision I shouldn't have made.
I mean, she's a girlfriend. She was a girlfriend, a friend.
Yeah.
Don't you feel bad?
A little, yeah.
All right.
Have a good day, sir.
Debbie Sanfilippo, congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel about all this?
I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad I'm going to get my money back. I don't care what he does with the Jeep. He can shove it up as you know what.
And you guys were really good friends.
We were. We stayed good friends, and obviously not now.
Yeah. Well, I guess you've learned a hard lesson, huh?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Harvey?
Okay, I don't care who you're selling it to. When you buy or sell a used car, you got to get it checked out by a mechanic beforehand. It will preserve any relationship you might have with the buyer and or seller.